tudo bem com vocês? Seja bem-vindo a mais um vídeo no meu canal. Hoje a gente vai assistir mais um filme brasileiro. It has been a while since I've done that and I decided let's watch another Brazilian movie. I watch Brazilian movies to improve my Portuguese and also enjoy the culture now that I'm here in Holland stuck. Hoje a gente vai assistir um filme bem famoso. Meu Nome Nao é Johnny. The film narrates the true story of João Guilherme Estrella, an upper middle class man from the state of Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro, eu gosto. That would become the head of the drug traffic in the late 1980s and the early 1990s. João is a young boy from an upper middle class family of the city of Niterói. Niterói? The second wealthiest city of the state. Whoa! João demonstrates a knack of entrepreneurship early on in his life when he delivers papers as a teenager, unusual for an upper middle class teen in Brazil. Why is that unusual? Let me know in the comments. Once his parents get divorced, João begins partying a lot, holding lavish parties in the downstairs of his dad's house. At one of these parties, João meets his love interest, Sophia. The more he parties, the more he begins dealing cocaine. The film shows the glamorous side of drug dealing, with João and Sophia dealing in Europe and spending exuberant amounts of money. In Europe? Oh my god. It sounds like a really great story. Alright, I'm gonna watch the movie right now. I have English subtitles. I'm ready. I'm gonna get a cup of tea. I'm gonna get comfortable. And I will see you guys when I'm finished. Então, gente, quase meia-noite aqui amolada. Tô cansada, mas acabou. Assistindo Meu Nome Nao é Johnny. To begin with, the movie went so fast. In the beginning, you see his life, you see him growing up, and the growing up phase goes so fast from kid to being a little bit like a teenager to a young adult to like an adult who is dealing in drugs. His lungs at the end of the recordings must be so broken because he was smoking the whole movie. Not only smoking, if you've seen the movie, but I think the beginning was really nice. It was really fast. It was really clear. You can see like his parents divorcing, his mom leaving, him living with his dad. Like the storyline is very quick, but it makes a lot of sense. So when his parents are divorcing, you can see him throwing a lot of parties in his dad's house because it's like 2 stories, and in the lowest story he gives like parties for his friends where they do drugs together, where they smoke together. It's like a whole thing, and more people keep on going, and then he meets Sophia. He decided to do a little bit of drugs because he throws these parties all the time at his house, and it was a good way to make some money. The funny thing is that Johnny, or João, Meu Nome Nao é Johnny, João, he did not use the money to get rich. He used the money to use drugs. Like he would make money by selling drugs, but use that money to use drugs. So in that way, he was kind of like a different type of dealer, because most dealers, you guys know, they make a lot of money with dealing drugs, but he was a little bit different than that. So this small business that he runs at his own house started to get bigger and bigger. He started to get bigger clients, bigger suppliers. He's starting to get like a bigger network until he gets caught by police one time. He makes a deal with the police, which was very weird. The police asks him to bring him to the house to see if he has more drugs. And the police threatens him, like, if you do not bring us to your home, because he asked for a warrant, we will shoot you. And I was like, what? You're supposed to be the police? And it's like, okay, so after a while, you see that he buys off the police. So that was his first escape from police, but that's not where it ended. No, not at all. He gets caught up in this drug cycle, and it's very obvious it started from a very small business to becoming bigger and bigger. He travels to Europe, he meets suppliers. So after they went to Europe, the police caught on to him again. And this time it was not to play around. He did not get threatened. He was being arrested and put into jail. Sophia leaves him, of course. So he gets put into jail, and you can see the Brazilian jail, how they are, and then eventually it's time for his trial. As you guys, if you've seen the movie, you know that the judge who is doing his sentence, she's kind of a pain in the ass. She's very strict, she's very principled, doesn't deal with no bullshit. She's very on to the point. So they get interrogated one by one about like whose drugs that they found in the apartment at Copacabana whose drugs was it? Who brought it there? How did it get there? Who's the supplier and who's the buyer? Like, they wanted to know the cycle. So eventually, in the end of the movie, you see that he's taking the blame. He's saying, you know what, it's my drug, those are my clients, and I put the drugs there. And it's a very emotional moment because his mom is in the room and is like, oh, she's like crying, and he's like, I'm sorry, mom, desculpa, mãe, and you're like, you feel sorry for him. So let's talk about the actors. I love Johnny, or João, in the movie. Cleo too. It was like, the acting in this movie was amazing, from the point of the beginning to the mother, to the dad who died halfway, to Cleo, to like all the people in the movie. Those are like, they really fitted into the movie. The cops, I loved the judge. She did her part so well. So it turns out that João's story is received as a tale of rehabilitation for drug users, and is now a successful musician and a music producer. That's really cool because this story is based on a true story, and I think it's really, really, really cool. So, muito obrigada por assistir esse filme, gente. Beijo pra vocês. Eu gravei muitos vídeos, mesmo esse. Inscrever no meu canal, seguir meu Instagram, por favor. Eu vou dormir agora, porque tô cansada, gente. Eu amo vocês demais. E até a próxima.